Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about the Anderson Detector shafts. You can get these at andersondetectorshafts.com. They called me up a while back and asked me if I wanted to demo one of these things and tell them what I thought about it. And I told them I'd do one better. I'll go ahead and demo it, and I'll make a video and tell everyone what I thought about it, good and bad. And that's the chance they'd have to take if they wanted to send me one to try out. So they did. They went ahead and sent me one because I guess they were pretty confident I would like it. And guess what? I do. I do like it a lot. It has a lot of good points. It has one point that's a little bit shaky, but is of no fault of their own. But I'll explain that to you when we look at this up close. So let's take a look at it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, first, just holding it, it's very comfortable. It's very well balanced. I like it a lot. Another thing that I really didn't notice at first, but it became clear to me after a while, is that the angle of the screen here is a little bit different than on the factory shaft. It's much, much better. I notice that when I'm hunting with a factory shaft, whenever I get a signal and I want to look at the meter, I always have to tip it to see it. I never really noticed I was doing that before until I got this thing and realized I didn't have to do that anymore. I also noticed, almost immediately, that this is a different type of locking system right here. And for some reason, I do not get near as much sand and silt that binds up the shaft. Now, with the standard stock shaft that I get from the factory, that happens a lot, and I haven't had that happen with this one yet. Now granted, I haven't had as much opportunity to use this one, but it seems like it doesn't get bound up so bad with the sand and silt. Another thing is that the shaft is actually much, much longer than the factory shaft, which is good and it's bad. It's good because you can extend it a little bit further than the factory shaft. Let me go ahead and show you that. So here I have the machine with the shaft fully extended. Now, you can see this cord right here is at its maximum. That's as far as it will go, but it's almost at the end anyway, so that's not a big deal. And this is very advantageous because you have a lot of reach. I mean, that is incredible right there. It's over 6 feet for me. That's also good if you're tall. If you're a really tall guy, I'd imagine that would help a lot. Now me, I'm a perfect 5'9", so I wouldn't need all that extra reach under normal conditions. Although, for shell hunting especially, it's great because you can cover a lot of ground like this. You can extend your arm like that. Look at that swing. I mean, I'm covering a huge swath of ground. You can't do that with a factory shaft, not anywhere near close to that. But inherent in this cord right here, which is now at its maximum, is the only thing that, for me, is a problem with this shaft. Let me show you that next. See, you can't take this apart right here because this cord is just too short. For me, that's a problem because when I'm kayaking, I like to just take this, I like to break this apart here, and you can just fold it over in half, and it makes the machine nice and small, and you can slide it into the kayak, and I don't have to worry about it. With this particular shaft, you can't do that, so I have to hook this on the side of the kayak, which isn't a big deal, but it's just nice when you can snug it away, and you don't have to worry about hitting branches or anything like that. That's the only negative with this shaft that I have found so far. And it's really easy to convert over. All you have to do is you take 2 screws out here that are on the factory shaft and box, and you put 4 screws in here. That's all you do. It just takes like a couple minutes. It's very, very simple. Now this does look kind of gunky because what I did is I put goop on it to fill in the holes here, the screw hole here and the screw hole here, and I put goop on these so that they don't back out. I've never had any problem with them backing out, but I don't want to have a problem if I'm water hunting somewhere. The reason I put this on is so that if I want to put it back on the Garrett shaft, I don't have to worry about debris being down here. And it's real simple to take off. You just grab it right here, just peel it off, or with a pair of pliers, just peel it off and the hole will be nice and clean. Same way with this, you can just take your fingernail and just peel it right back off and you can unscrew them. That's all there is to it. That's all you have to do to convert it over is just take out a couple screws, put a couple screws in. Very, very simple. Now I take the strap off right here that comes with a strap, but I don't like to use it water hunting. Normally I have a strap on here that I hook to my belt, but I took it off for this demonstration because it flops all over the place. Yeah, so it's really simple to put on there, simple to use, it's well balanced, it's light, it's stylish if you're into that. Again, it doesn't seem to get bound up near as much with sand and silt in here. If you look at it, you can see it's a little bit scratched right here, but my Garrett, I actually have to take sandpaper and sand that down every once in a while. So it's a great little shaft. I'd recommend it. I only wish this thing was just a little bit longer so that I could take it apart. For the average digger, they're not going to have to worry about that. So to wrap it up, I really do like this shaft, and if you've been thinking about getting one, I'd recommend it, no problem at all. Only disadvantage, and I'm going to have to press this again, is that you cannot take it apart here and fold it over. You actually have to unscrew it right here, which isn't a big deal except when you're out in a kayak or out on the river. You don't want to be screwing and unscrewing these things all the time, so that's the only hassle with this shaft. Other than that, it's great.